I wanted to stay away from the from the Hunter Biden story. And because also I didn't want to take up the Jared Kushner story at all. Again, these guys are out of government. And yes, both of them leverage names, but one does it in an even more obscene manner than the other in your face. Yet, we have the Republicans that are solely concerned about Hunter Biden and whether his father, President Biden, profited from some of his sons taking advantage of his name. Why is it that they haven't asked that about Kushner? Well, like I said, I wasn't going to talk about it, but after listening to Kara McCaskill, I decided that we had to give the story some balance because right now, America with a sect in America with a high degree of shallow thinking, I think it is important that they understand that whatever it is that Hunter Biden did, orders of magnitude bigger was done by Jared Kushner and Donald Trump's relatives, Donald Trump's family.
You don't have oversight over Congress people or senators' cousins. So, I mean, what they're doing here is overstepping the authority of the committee. Even though we may all say that was a bad thing somebody did, they have no oath or obligation to answer to a congressional committee because they're not a government employee.
Yeah, I mean, so Reagan, Alex just told me, Neil Reagan owned radio stations. Reminds me of that Lady Bird, magically got licenses to TV stations in Texas and became incredibly wealthy. You look at the Bushes, some of the Bush kids, the same, did very well on the site. So these Republicans, I mean, they're sitting here looking at Hunter Biden, and somehow missing again, not only the $2 billion example right in front of them, but also a long history of this.
I mean, Jared Kushner continues to cash out on the Trump presidency and all of the connections he made with the UAE and the Saudis throughout his 4 years in the White House in this senior job that he had when he ostensibly should have been advocating and negotiating policies on behalf of the U.S., but was instead fomenting and creating these relationships with people who he now continues to do business with. But there is a long history of troubled family members and children in the presidency in the White House. And I think I've read the Devon Archer testimony several times. And, you know, the headlines couldn't be clearer. Devon Archer says that Joe Biden had no knowledge, no discussions with Hunter Biden of the business dealings that they were doing. And if you read really closely, I think the picture and the portrait that is painted by Devon Archer is actually a really sad one of a son who's exploiting his dad, taking advantage of him, sort of doing everything he can to capitalize on his name, selling this brand. That's absolutely true.
And by the way, we've seen it time and again. I don't think it's right. In fact, if I were in that position, I'd look at all my family members and say, you know, if you do anything like this, you ain't going to have a problem with the feds. You're going to have problems with me. But it happens time and time and time again. And again, we have an example of a sad situation here. Billy Carter is a sad situation. You look at some of the Bush issues. You look at, like you said, I mean, it's somebody in the shadow of either a brother or a father or somebody else, and they go out and they try to trade on the name. And yeah, it's pretty terrible. But if you have somebody that's actually making $2 billion off the Saudis, building a relationship off of Middle East peace talks, and off the Saudis, once again, the false equivalency is outrageous, and they keep. Do we have that clip of the poor guy, the poor Republican, trying to? But here's a congressman from New York that needs to give me a call the next time he thinks he wants to go on an interview. Play the tape.
Despite nearly 2 years now of an investigation into the president's son, while you have certainly unearthed a trove of evidence that the committee says proves the president's association, there has not been produced a smoking gun. Clear-cut, undeniable proof of the president's involvement with his son's foreign business deals. What do you say to that?
Well, we've never claimed that we have direct money going to the president, but many members of his family have received money from foreign governments. And this is something that is very important for the American people to know.
I want to just follow up with you, sir, on a point you made a moment ago, which is you said we never claimed that any money was funneled directly to the president. That is precisely the claim that the chairman of your committee, James Comer, and also Jim Jordan have made many times on public record. We are
putting an investigation together, laying out the facts between on the business dealings of this family. We are going to continue this investigation. I believe impeachment inquiry would give us more tools to get the job done.
And then at the end of the clip, Jillian Turner there, who was tough. Jillian Turner said, okay, again, we just have to tell our viewers that they actually have claimed a direct line from Hunter Biden and these deals to Joe Biden. But actually, the problem he had was he's on a committee where they're lying. He actually went on TV and told the truth.
Again, this is a story you won't see me touch on a lot, but I think I have to agree with former Senator McCaskill. You cannot leave a vacuum to be filled up by Hunter Biden, the family, the crime family, and not actually look over at the real crime family in America.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.